and very little to no experience to his name going up against Christopher, a former world champion. It's
So, you know, for me, having been around esports for a while, I've seen it countless times. Experience, honestly, is one of those things that you can't quantify, you can't account for in these types of big games. Christopher, he's been here before. Granted, not in a World Finals situation like this in a long, long time, a fair few years now. But he has been here before. He's gone on late runs in tournaments. We saw it back in Portugal, in Porto, in Season 2 to get to this entire tournament. I just think he has that experience. The Palmer, we spoke about it before though, the win conditions for him. Get that early goal, get that first goal, make Christopher have to really work to pick you apart, and that's where some of the gaps in Christopher's defence will start to appear.
Christopher from left to right in the Arsenal home kit as we do get into this game, and Palmer from right to left, of course, in the away kit of Arsenal. Let's see which Arsenal will be better today in this game. We've seen some absolutely cracking quarterfinals, we've seen close games, we've seen dramatic equalizers, we've seen absolute drubbings. We've had it all. Can we have some more close games though? That's what we want. That's what we want. We want the drama. It is going to be the Palmer with the first seemingly good attack here, and Keda, this is absolutely fantastic play by the way. It's absolutely sublime from the Palmer there as he does find his way into the box with Aubameyang. Look at this build-up play though. Back heel, skill, little passes in, and it's just, how can you even defend against that, Harry?
It's two-touch football, and in the end, Petr Cech really does help to save Christopher's skin. And he has to survive this corner now as well, but yeah, the Palmer, that's a great start for him, opening 10 minutes. Two-touch football, that's what's going to break Christopher down.
That's that typical corner, they're driven towards the back post over the keeper that he's trying to cause problems with, but really, really good start by the Palmer. Does the same again and completely messes it up. So that's where the inexperience potentially could come in, things like that. But either way, Christopher PW, the first one under pressure here with the Kosh.
Interesting, some big players not in the starting lineup, I don't think, at least, that I've seen so far from the Palmer. The likes of Welbeck, he might be looking to bring on a player of his caliber later on down the line. You can see him playing Medley here in defence as well. It's interesting. Obviously, if you want to bring on fresh legs and you have to chase the game.
Aubameyang in the box sets a chance that has been gifted towards him. It's still going to be there. The Palmer living very dangerously there, giving the ball away in a terrible position, but he gets away with it.
Coming back to my point, if you do want to have to chase the game, that's a great players to bring on, but a little bit shaky at the back there. That was certainly something that should have been dealt with earlier on.
Palmer, it's his turn now though, and it's Petr Cech with a great save. Aubameyang one-on-one, and he hasn't managed to put it away. There's been some great chances for both players so far. The better ones falling to the Palmer now, but here we go, counter-attacking opportunity now. Ramsey to Welbeck, back to Ramsey, can't quite get things going for Christopher, and it will be a counter-attacking opportunity for the Palmer.
Here is Bukayo Saka for the Palmer. Again, one of those players you don't see often in the real world, but is being used here at the PES League World Final. Step balancing in effect, don't forget. So a whole range of players. A lot of it is personal preference, but some players have their own tactics that they like to try and use these players in. So we'll see that a lot throughout the remainder of the knockout games.
Well, Christopher PW trying his best to get an attack underway. It's good ball in, and it's well covered by the Arsenal defence there of the Palmer. This one will be played back to Kolasinac, looking like he wants to go down the left-hand side, but quite happy to have the ball here, you feel, Harry, after what has been a flurry of a start for the Palmer. A couple of really, really good chances, and Christopher will be happy to have the ball.
Yeah, happy to have the ball, but mainly because his usual gameplay hasn't been so effective. He's been very sloppy, he's lost the ball quite a lot. We're so used to seeing Christopher just be patient and play short, safe passes like he is right now, just waiting for the gap to open, but he's forced it a couple of times so far, so it's good to see him just retain possession for a little while and look for a gap at the back.
Lacazette looking for that gap, looking to try and create one to put Aubameyang through in, but not having in that time round. Mkhitaryan now will get this one out for the Palmer. Moving very quickly as he attacks as well. He creates a lot of ground at a very quick amount of time. Maitland-Niles now looking for a little bit of room. Going to try and find that cross. We know he'll inevitably come in at some point. Goes towards the back post, towards Aubameyang, back down into the middle. Can't quite find his extra player there. Lacazette will get this one away for Christopher PW. But you would argue after 33 minutes, it definitely really has been the Palmer the one putting the most pressure on here, you feel. So Katia pushes it out to Maitland-Niles, back into Mkhitaryan, who's unmarked. A little bit slow on the uptake though. Socrates is there very, very quickly. Good defending by Christopher.
Certainly agree with you in that the more gilt-edged chances, so to speak, have come to the Parma. But yeah, you're looking at Mkhitaryan there in the box to try and step towards that ball a little bit slow.
Lasnic will defend, but will concede a corner. Good opportunity for Christopher here. That one's going to be brought back, so that is looking like it's going to be Hector Bellerin on a yellow card potentially. Yes, it is, and that's from the side of the Parma, so keep an eye on that one. I'm sure you'll probably sub him off in the second half at some point, but just bear that in mind. Ramsey now to take this corner. Plenty of members in there, and looks like it's going to be a short one. We've seen this quite often as well. That's what I like to see as well. Plenty of different corner routines out of these guys. Ramsey now. Edge of the box here, looking for a pass. Can't seem to find anybody in support. And it's a poor pass by Hector Bellerin. Medley get this one away. Good ball out in Katia. Not going to be able to counter-attack here just yet. Christopher does retain the ball.
Yes, he does. A little bit more zing needed on these balls from Christopher if he's going to play dangerous, almost 50-50 balls like he was just then. He isn't really creating too much danger, and again is playing almost a dangerous game at times. Lucky he is so well versed in this kind of gameplay, and you think it's ball retention now when it's at 0-0. Wait until he gets a goal. If he does get a goal, it's going to be nigh on impossible for the Parma to get a boot on the ball. There's going to be so much time drained away if Christopher gets that goal when he has the ball. So the Parma, very important, he does not concede approaching half-time.
Do you think it benefits Christopher more the longer that this goes on goalless? It feels like he is really easing into it. What sort of back pass is that? An absolutely awful one. Football 101, you don't pass it across the box. Lacazette is there to pick up the pieces, and Christopher finds that lead that we said could be detrimental to the Parma.
Well, well, well. You can see what it means to Christopher. He's just taking a moment there to compose himself.
It's a mistake. It's a huge mistake, Harry.
Yes, it is. You cannot play a back pass like this. Not sure what was going through the mind of the Parma. Very interesting. It's
absolute suicide football.
I mean, maybe you're expecting Petr Cech there to step up, or Mavropanos to just boot it straight away, but the pass was nowhere near where it needed to be. And Lacazette hammers it home right before half-time.
Oh, that's a poor goal to concede if you are the Parma. What was he thinking? It's been a close half as well, but as said, look, Christopher's had most of the possession, but you would argue that Parma probably had the better chances up until that first one went in. But, oh, these are mistakes that sort of go away with experience, and you wonder if that is something that might come back to bite the Parma now.
Yeah, if you're looking at the statistics here, just look at the passes and the passes made category that just show the difference between the two play styles. Almost, what was that, 28, I think, 28 passes more, attempted at least, from the Portuguese man, Christopher, and that's what he's going to do, especially now that he has the lead. He is going to do that almost doubly and try and make it as difficult for the Parma as possible. And here he is immediately as soon as he gets the ball here in the second half with this 1-0 lead. I thought he might try and play a bit more safe than that, so a chance for the Parma.
Oh, is he going to be able to get that ball well back? Just about gets there, but gives it away to Hector Bellerin, and here we go. Let's see what the Parma is really made of. Can he break Christopher down here? Such a resolute player when he does have a lead, but an opportunity here, and it's a fantastic ball to Mkhitaryan. What a save by Petr Cech! Gets down to his right-hand side, and he should not be saving that. Saka now.
He retired this season, didn't he?
That's not fair, he's surely.
He's got the reflexes of a cat.
What a save that is.
Unbelievable.
And if you are the Parma, you just say to yourself, all right, come on, I can create these opportunities. Surely one goes in. There's been a couple of fantastic saves by Petr Cech for the side of Christopher. But here he comes on the attack again too. Would make it difficult, but he will get this one away at the Parma. And Aubameyang will get to stretch his legs here as Mkhitaryan surges forward. Aubameyang on his left-hand side. He might go all the way on his own. Socrates is there though. Jumps in where he needs to.
Looking for a bit more tight control there from Mkhitaryan to just allow that killer pass through. It was on for him, but a little bit lackadaisical. But once again for Christopher, panicking a little bit being very sloppy, giving the ball back to the Palmer, and we've seen in the first half he's able to play two-touch football. He's doing it again here.
Okay, Maitland-Niles to Mkhitaryan. It's just a little bit short. Really well defended by Christopher, though, making sure he does cover those passes where he needs to, and Torreira will quite happily take his time with this ball. Welbeck into Lacazette. It's a good turn. Hector Bellerin has to be careful. Remember, he is yellow carded. He will get that one away, though, in Ketia to Maitland-Niles, and the passes when he goes forward are expressive. They're creative as well. Can he find anything from that? The Palmer now into Aubameyang inside the box. Can't quite get a hold of it. Asking for a penalty. It would have been harsh.
Strong challenge, I think, there from Koscielny. I think it was the Arsenal number 6. But this is more like it from Christopher. I was almost surprised he was willing to attack at the Palmer, considering, you know, he does have that lead, and we've been harping on about his control gameplay, his possession play style. But I'll come back to that point in a minute, Chris.
Maitland-Niles has got a little bit of room here. That sliding tackle was not quite where it needed to be. And if you are Christopher, a little bit erratic on the defensive side, but he does survive it either way. Maitland-Niles will get it away for him now. Living dangerously here. It's not the typical Christopher performance that we're used to seeing when he has a lead, although there is time for that. Maybe he doesn't think one is enough. Yeah, I said I was surprised that he's going for a second, but at the same time, I feel like it's probably the right thing to do. So I'm surprised, and I'm not surprised at the same time. Maybe Christopher doesn't feel like the one goal is enough here. He feels like he needs to get a second based on the encouraging build-up play from the Palmer. He is threatened at times. Think about the early stages of this match, the way he was able to put together some really strong chances, and was unfortunate for me not to get a goal from them. But the changes now will come in. Both players there on the stage playing with 2 men up top. And this is the sort of stage of the game where, if you are the Palmer, not playing the likes of Welbeck, the likes of other players that he hasn't started the game with, now he can bring them on. You look at Lacazette, he's fresh on the pitch. You have John Jules coming on now as well, Alex Iwobi. They all did not start the game, and now they're able to come on 100% stamina, impact the game. And let's see if it's possible for him to even get an equalizer. Plenty of time left here, 20 minutes of in-game time. And as said, he is going to bring on those dangerous players with fresh legs. That's the thing that you allude to, Harry. You're very, very right. Got to be so careful against these guys with plenty of pace at this time in the game. Welbeck will be tackled. Christopher happy to concede the throw-in. Which way does he go with it? He's on the attack here. A second goal would definitely make you feel like he should be walking away as winner of this quarter-final. It's a good ball into Aubameyang. Back to Lacazette, to Welbeck. From course, so Aubameyang doesn't need to rush anything here. Oh my God, the deflection might be kind. It isn't in the end. And it will actually be the Palmer who gets it away. A fresh Alexander Iwobi on the ball to Lacazette. Look at the men over here. Christopher's committed quite a few members forward of his team to try and find that second. John Jules with the good skill in the box to Lacazette. So Aubameyang can't quite get it out his feet, and he is closed down fast. Good defending by Christopher once again, but the pressure is well and truly on here, Harry.
Yeah, good chance there from from the Palmer. Christopher there on the back foot, but I honestly feel like I felt like the chance was gone when he didn't see Aubameyang. It was one of Christopher's players there playing at right back, must have been Bellerin, who just stepped up a little bit too soon. And on Palmer's left, Aubameyang was almost through on goal, free, completely scot-free. He went to his right instead. I thought at that point the chance had gone. Did well to salvage it, but it was certainly it's pretty much a one-on-one if he feeds Aubameyang through there. So, I mean, shoulda, woulda, coulda if it stays this way until the end, or Christopher gets himself another goal and ends up winning this entire game. That might be something that the Spaniard regrets and goes and looks back on and thinking, well, maybe I should have fed it through. If only I'd seen the pass.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's a song, that.
Means I'm out of time.
That's why I read the joke.
Something changed my mind, and now I wonder.
Okay, now he's spoiled it.
Right.
Yep. Well, plenty of changes coming in between these two teams.
It's a great song.
It
is that
it's a great song. I like how I brought it up.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
I'll add that to one of my playlists.
Don't put it. Anyway, as we go back into the game, only 13 minutes of in-game time remaining. Christopher with that slender lead. Most of the time it's enough. He just about gets it back to check there.
This is dangerous.
It's very dangerous. but he lives life on the edge apparently. Bellerin will win that header, but it will only find its way to Willock. We'll get there a second time round though, and here we go. 10 minutes of in-game time remaining for the Palmer. What can he do here? He can find Alex Iwobi with plenty of room. Back to John Jules, to Lacazette. It's this fast-flowing football once again, and it's beautiful from the Spaniard. It's that extra pass that you just don't think he needs, but he finds anyway, and finds the back of the net with it. Phenomenal from him. Aubameyang puts it in, and we may well be heading to extra time. It's been coming.
Aubameyang's the scorer, Chris, but just watch this build-up play. It's a fresh Lacazette and it's a fresh Iwobi that allow the chance to happen. There you go, into Lacazette. Great tight footwork. Ramsey was tasked with marking him. Ramsey's been on the pitch, I'm pretty sure, since the start of the game for Christopher. Just didn't have the legs to keep up, and there is Aubameyang just pulling off the defence, finding space in the box as he always does. And for me, the tactic has worked for the Palmer, keeping those players on the bench, ready to bring them on in case of an eventuality like this. Well, it's paid off.
It has indeed. A great goal. And I said it felt like that extra pass was what he needed. You thought the shot was coming in with Lacazette, and the extra pass to Aubameyang with the easiest of finishes. This one is the final dagger, and a great move. 1-1 now. Plenty of time. Well, there's definitely time left for a goal yet. 9 minutes of in-game time to go. Switch into a deep defensive line here. And Saka to Willock. Looking for one more chance for Christopher. May find it with Willock. A great defensive header there by Lacazette. All the way back helping.
He's everywhere.
And Saka will not be able to get it away. Recovered on the other side by Christopher. He does have men forward here. 5 minutes of in-game time remaining. It's a good ball through John Jules, and well defended once again by the Palmer, having the guys where he needs to every single time seemingly. It's a good ball through to Hector Bellerin. Back to Willock, place it inside. John Jules not able to quite get there, and feel as if the Palmer is maybe looking for extra time now. Socrates walks this one forward. Lacazette on the right-hand side. Not much energy, enough to whip it in towards Aubameyang, towards the front post. Who's going to win the header in the middle? Check is there to pick up the pieces. Will there be time for one more chance? Iwobi, plenty of energy left. Plenty of gas in the tank. Aubameyang now. Oh, he can't find the pass, and that might be the signal that we're heading to extra time. It is one apiece after 90 minutes.
Mavropanos, by the way, is having a mess. He's having a mare. The Palmer, why are you playing? And I thought better check didn't come and snatch that ball away. Mavropanos was never getting to it. Absolutely not. But
he might be really tall, but it's the speed that lets him down, you think.
Absolutely. Just the 2 goals and the 2 shots, I think it was in the end from the Palmer. But I'm nervous. Every time Mavropanos is on the ball, I'm nervous. He's playing Medley and Mavropanos. He's actually playing, well, I mean, he's not playing Koscielny, and he's not playing Socrates either, so I'm not sure what the reasoning is behind that, but
he'll have reasons, I suppose.
Of course, as I said, a lot of it can come down to personal preference.
Well,
for me, there's no way I'm letting Mavropanos back on the pitch after that. Oh my. Don't forget he made the mistake for the first goal as well, if I'm not mistaken, for Christopher's goal. He was the pass back.
I'd like to blame the Palmers for that one. The Palmer, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose it probably is user error at the end of the day, but still. Scapegoat.
Yeah, you just throw him under the bus, alright. Blame the players, that's what I would. Well, changes are plenty coming in for both sides here before we head into extra time. Again, such close competition here at the PES League World Finals 2019. A lot of people will still be talking about Etorito as the favourite to win this one, but there's been some crazy games. Yes, okay, you could gain some momentum off winning an exciting, dramatic game, but it takes it out of you mentally as well. And, you know, if you are coasting through to quarters, semis, finals, it makes it a less stressful, less tiring day, you feel, for somebody who finds it easy.
If I'm the Palmer, I focus my attacks down the right-hand side. He has a almost, well, near fresh Lacazette. He has John Jules and Iwobi fresh on the pitch as well, coming on in the second half, I should say. So maybe he looks to exploit that right-hand side. Some of Christopher's players will be a little bit worse for wear.
Well, Iwobi now. Back to Bellerin, and this is the Palmer now from right to left. Finds Aubameyang. After a dive in. On the centre-backs here, Lacazette is there. Is he going to be able to find Aubameyang? Can't quite squeeze it through. Czech should be able to clear this one away from Christopher, who's now left to right in the Arsenal home kit. As said in the Palmer, the Spanish man, the Spanish youngster, from right to left in the Arsenal away kit. But an attacking opportunity here for Christopher. Good 1-2 between John Jules and Aubameyang. Eventually it finds its way just about to Saka. John Jules in the box. It's a good move. Is Willock going to be able to pick it up? Lacazette back to Willock. He gets there, but so does Czech. Kolasinac clears it away, but the danger is not over. Saka gets his hand on it, but it will be eventually cleared away. And it just seemed as if he was never going to be able to get that shot off. He just stretches the leg out to get it away, but Czech was there to meet it.
Yes, he was. If Palmer had conceded that, and I'm the Palmer, well, I'm raging. How has my defence not done better there? But he survives now, and now he's on the attack.
John Jules now spreads it out wide to Iwobi. John Jules back to Iwobi. He's got plenty of room, you know. We know how crucial these passes in the boxes can be. Can't quite find the third. Found a couple, but Cristobal will survive this time round. We're about to head into the second half of extra time. Medley will get this one away. It's 15 in-game minutes gone. 15 more remaining before we see penalties.
So Iwobi and John Jules again down that right-hand side,
causing
combining
a lot of problems
for the Palmer. Yeah, they're again, stamina at this point of the match makes so much of a difference. Maybe we'll be able to see it here if one of the players flicks over to the stamina bars, but Lacazette, Iwobi and John Jules, all three subbed on, all three playing on that right-hand side for the Palmer. It's somewhere you want to exploit. He certainly did it towards the end of that first half of extra time. If he does it here successfully in the second half, you can argue he is going to a semi-final.
It's a good attack straight from the kickoff here. Another Palmer, there's plenty of men forward, he's committed to it. Bellerin will be the first one there though, Torreira to regain possession, but doesn't have many options in front of him. Everyone very far forward.
Maybe should have gone backwards.
Torreira back to Lacazette. Look at the room here for Aubameyang. Not much gas in the tank at all though. So we'll have to pass this one off if he can. Shrugs off Medley. Just waiting for a press up here. Christopher seemingly still playing quite defensively. Bellerin will get the ball back. It's great football, but he is offside.
I think this one was intended. I think this one's intended for number 9, Lacazette. I think it's unfortunate there, just locks onto the wrong player.
Sends it forward for Aubameyang. There's the Palmer. Saka now. Look at the run from Lacazette. You thought the pass may be in on.
Yeah, I would have. I mean, as I said before, stamina. I mean, he would have burst past the two defenders there, the two centre-backs for Christopher. I think he's in there if he plays that ball.
There won't be many more opportunities here, Harry. Christopher looking like he's trying to create one now. Willock is onside. Has runners on his right and left. It will not fall to John Jules. Mavropanos will get this one away. John Jules, now there's men over here, if anything. It's momentarily 5v4 here. Saka striding forward for the Palmer. Room in front of him. Does he need to find the pass? He finds it, Lacazette. Back to Saka. Oh, Czech just about gets there. Christopher's defence are on their feet. Hector Bellerin will pass this one back, and Christopher probably just trying to hang on here. He knows the stamina is very much not in his favour. The Palmer now. That was a big opportunity in the final minute.
Yes, it was. Saka there just body blocked as we go to penalties. He was so close to getting a foot on that ball. And if he does, maybe we're not going to penalties at all. Christopher on your screens unhappy with his performance. As you can imagine, no player here wants to go and play for penalties. But that's what the Spaniard and that's what the Portuguese on the stage are going to have to do. The Palmer and Christopher going to pens. Which way do you go in a pen?
Which way do I go?
Right.
I usually
Yeah.
go left.
Left?
Yeah.
Is that because you're right footed?
Yes.
Get your foot around the ball.
Yeah.
Do you open your body up, send him the wrong way?
I don't really think about
No,
it, to be honest.
yeah,
I think I
hit and hope.
just hit it dead hard and all goes in.
Hit it strong, hit it true.
I don't imagine you can kick a ball very hard, to be honest.
What are you trying to say? Go on, say it.
You are of light frame.
Again, what are you trying to say?
I
Never skip leg day.
Anyway, Christopher in the home kit, the Palmer in the away, so it will be Christopher to take first. With Aubameyang, of course, faking with the target.
Yep.
Trying to put the keeper off, trying to put the Palmer off.
Both players can see this, but obviously you're probably going to turn it off or at least try and fake the other way if you do keep it on.
Well, here we go. Aubameyang for Christopher to take the first one. It goes wide.
Oh no.
It's a bad way to start. And the Palmer will be happy with that one. Oh, and Christopher is not.
No, no, no.
Well, here we go.
Tried to get it dead on in the corner and in the end drags it wide.
It's now time for the Palmer. He's telling him where to put it. Does he go that way, Harry?
Yes.
He does indeed, and he saves it. Both penalties by Aubameyang. Either miss or saved. He tells him to go that way, he goes for it, he calls his bluff. He bloody saves it.
Even I knew he was going that way. It's an early path for Aubameyang. It's both Aubameyangs.
Both Aubameyangs. John Jules now to take a penalty here for Christopher. He gets away with missing that first one in the end. Well, John Jules, here he goes. Can we see a penalty? Go in the back of the net. Check saves it. Holds the middle of the net there. In the end, and now it's the turn of John Jules on the other side of things, the Palmer, to take one here. Will he call his bluff again? That's the question. It's such a coin toss sometimes. It's such a mental game. John Jules powers it up and sends it down the middle. The Palmer will take the lead here in the penalty shootout. 1-0 now after 2 penalties apiece. Lacazette, it's now his turn for Christopher.
Big one to score. You don't want to be down 2-0 in a penalty shootout with penalties running out. So take all the time you need here if you're Christopher and just make sure you score this. Give yourself a chance.
Huge moment in the quarter-final. Lacazette to take the penalty, buries it. Christopher gets it this time round. The Palmer goes the wrong way with Petacek. And now, can the Spaniard answer back? It's a quick penalty as well. Lacazette takes it down the middle, and he guesses right. And that's the Portuguese commentator, as you can hear in my mic. They are happy about that one. 1 apiece after 3.
Well, well, well. No bias here, of course, at the PES League.
We got a Spanish stream as well. I'm sure they're going as loud.
No English players here, so
yeah,
we can
tough.
be as Eurovision as we want.
Are you Terry Rogan or are you more... oh, God.
Graham Norton?
That's the one.
I'm a Graham Norton guy.
Yeah.
You can be Terry.
Yeah, I'll be Tezza. Christopher to take his 4th penalty now. It's going to be Saka. Which way does he go? The right way in the bottom right corner. And for the first time, Christopher takes a lead here in this penalty shootout.
So much power. It's the penalty he was trying to score with Aubameyang.
Takes these quickly. The Palmer needs to score, and he's guessed it! He's guessed down the middle. He holds his nerve, and Christopher is 1 away. He's going down the middle, Harry.
You reckon?
I think he is, you know. Christopher.
I reckon he's going left.
Scores this, secures himself a spot in the PES League 2019 World Semi-Final.
Fans behind the goal on their feet. Which
way does he go? Willing to take it? Can Christopher send himself to the semi-final? Yes, he can! The Portuguese in the Emirates celebrate. Christopher celebrates on the stage, and he will go into the top 4 here in the PES League World Finals 2019. What a game between these two. The experienced veteran against the youngster in the Palmer, who will be bitterly disappointed in that game. He has plenty more time to come in PES, but that is an experience win from Chris.